my name is Shadow Templar 591, and I'm back doing something I haven't done in a little while. I'm doing what I call my what is videos. Basically, my what is videos are critiques, analytical videos I do on a video game that I've played. Sometimes, usually the newer games. This one is a little old. This is The Witcher 1, as you can probably may not be able to tell. And I go over things like who the game is made by, what kind of game it is, price, and then my final thoughts. So The Witcher, the first Witcher, and all the other ones were made by CD Projekt Red, who are a Polish developer, and that's important because The Witcher itself, the game, is based on the book, which is also by a Polish author, which is based on Slavic mythology, which we don't get a lot. Usually here in the Western world, including Europe, it's usually either Greek or Roman, Norse. We do sometimes get Egyptian, maybe some other Farther Eastern like Hindu or Japanese, but that's about it. Most of that stuff doesn't come over here. So as for the game itself, it's an RPG. You play as a character called a Witcher, and I'll give you actually more of an overview in the game. So that's the basis you need to know. It's a single player game, and I'll hop right in there and we'll show you more of the gameplay. So I'll see you then. Okay, so this is Geralt. He is the Witcher you're going to play as. There are more than one, but we'll go into that a little later. At the top left, you have a little wolf icon. It kind of changes with how you're looking, which is kind of cool. I like that effect on it. But its main purpose is to look cool. You also have the same pendant. That same wolf icon is actually a pendant you're wearing. But it mostly tells you whether or not you're in or out of combat. The music will also change when you are in and out of combat, as you would expect. At the bottom left by the wolf, you also see a little green bar that kind of circles around it. That's your EXP bar. To the right of that, on the top, is your health bar, and then under that is what's called the endurance bar. That's for doing your signs, so you can read this if you want to. It kind of it's going to go into explanation what I'm talking about. And signs are basically your spell powers you get as a Witcher. To the top right, you have your map, your little compass, and then actually to the left of that, you have the day and night, basically cycle, so it's saying it's night, but it's going to be day. As you can probably tell by that, there is a day and night cycle in that. To the right of that, you have options, you have your map, so your map, your options, so brings up the main menu. I believe your inventory is actually at the bottom. Your hero, so your stats, showing you your stats and stuff, what you've got upgraded. Actually doesn't show you how much points you have to upgrade, which seems like a little oversight. Your journal, which basically has a bunch of tutorials and extra information. This is also where you go for your quests. And then, like I showed before, your inventory, which is kind of self-explanatory. You can have 2 weapons, a couple rings. I don't know what this slot is. Potion slot, okay. And then this is basically your little weapons. And what's this for? Trophy slot. Huh. Didn't know such a thing existed. Okay. Anyway. I'm gonna head into this and when I see you there, because we're gonna the first thing I'm gonna tackle is the story in the inn. We're going to talk to a guy named Kolstein, and then that's going to allow me to branch out further. So next time you see me, we are going to be talking to said Kolstein.
Hmm. 3 ounces of optimum mater, a drop of mercury solution. Oh, sorry, I got lost in thought.
Greetings.
Greetings. I'm Cogstein, alchemist.
Geralt, Witcher.
A witcher? How much would you ask for an opportunity to examine your body?
I don't think you could afford it.
You would be doing a great service to science. All right, fine. Though I perceived you as someone who valued reliable knowledge.
I respect science and scientists, alchemists too. And I guess I expect the same in return.
I see. Well, maybe you can agree to a post-mortem, then.
Keep talking and I might change my mind. Regarding alchemists, that is.
All right, I'm sorry.
So, first off about the story. Actually, let's start with Kolstein's expression, or lack thereof. As you can probably tell in his voice, and I'm going to point it out now if you didn't, he was very shocked to see a Witcher, which he should be, which is a very rare. Not only have they been hunted to near extinction because they got, as is the case in a lot of these games, got blamed for a series of events that really wasn't their fault. To become a Witcher, you have to be a human, go through this huge ordeal, which something like 90% of them die anyways. So, you have 3 things working against seeing a Witcher. They're being hunted, to become one's really hard, and because of that, not a lot of the people either want to be a Witcher or survive to be a Witcher. So, that being said, his expression, the animation of his expression, or the lack thereof, he has the same expression throughout that whole thing. Even though his voice changes, his expression doesn't. And for me, that happens a story, and this is kind of why I wanted to talk about it first, because if you go in that journal, and I'll show more of this later on, actually I'll show you this now, while I'm making this point. But it's hard for me to believe the story. So you can see, we just met Kolstein. As you go through the story and do certain quests, this will expand. But you can get a new information on the characters, the locations, monsters, which actually you have to, unless you get put a lot of points in intelligence. And I'll explain that later on. Formulas, ingredients, glossary, basically certain main points, main subjects that you want to know, and tutorials, as well as your quests, the quests you're on. But my problem is, I don't really care a lot about this, and there's books you can read and stuff, which are all meant to world build and everything, but I really don't care about that, because I can't believe that the characters I'm interacting with, my own story, are believable enough, let alone the world itself. So if I have a hard time believing the characters, it makes me really have a hard time not only caring about the rest of the world, or believing the rest of the world. And what I mean by that is, so we had the exchange, me, Geralt, and Kolstein, and actually I'm going to have another one with the innkeeper Olaf here.
Give me a beer.
Your kind's not welcome here.
I said I wanted a beer.
We have no more. Very well. I'll see what I have.
Good man.
Everyone drink up. We're closing.
Innkeeper, do that again and I'll get angry. Wouldn't want that, would you?
No.
All right. I'll just tend to my business and be on my way.
What can I do for you?
And here's another problem. So just like that, Geralt said, you wouldn't like me angry. To be honest, I don't know if I would, because he has the same expression animation expression, just like the other characters, no matter whether he's happy, he's excited, he's nervous, he's scared, he's falling in love, he has the same expression. So I don't know if I would mind to see him angry, because it looks like all his other expressions, it's very monotone. So because of that, because his expression doesn't meet his verbal inflection, I can't take him seriously. And because I can't take the interaction the characters I have with between not only the characters themselves, but me as a player in the characters, why do I care about anything else that's going on in the world when I can hardly believe what's going on in the world that I'm directly affecting, in the storyline I'm directly affecting, let alone events that I have no control over or already have happened. So that really brings down the story for me. Another thing is, as with most innkeepers in a lot of these RPGs, they're good for information, they're good for storage, and they're good for getting a room. So if I click this, you can get a room, and I put that in heavy quotes, for 5 orns. I won't do that because I'll show you soon why, but as I also said, storage. So you can store items, because as you can see, you have a very small limited storage space. But if I am to get a room, basically what happens is I go over here, I sit at this fire, and I meditate. And there's a couple of reasons why you want to meditate. But the thing is, why didn't they just say... That's a little misleading, and I don't know, and I think I know why they did that. I think they didn't want to, obviously, render a room in each one of these inns, and there's not too many, but it takes work and time just for the player to go there, just probably sleep, and then leave. But they could have also, instead of just having, like, the storage be with the innkeeper, they could have also had it in, like, a box, so you can store stuff in the box as well. But there's some other things that they decided not to do that kind of also make that hard. So, while I'm here, I want to also show something. As you can see, these two characters, Alpha and Shani, have green names and little green circles. That means they are main characters. Our friend Kalkstein does as well. They're main characters, they move the main plot along. The problem is, there's side characters who kind of move the plot around as well, but not to the extent that these guys do, that have green names, like Vanessa Hurd. The problem is, there's also characters who have blue names, like the Fist Fighter, and basically anybody who have quests, maybe not push the story along, but have quests nonetheless, so... But there's the same blue characters, like this peasant. If I go talk to this peasant, which is great, but he doesn't have a quest, so it's hard to distinguish characters that are going to who aren't main characters, who aren't mainline characters, whether or not they have the quest, unless you literally talk to every one of them. Another thing that's kind of immersion breaking in this game is, let me see, I thought I saw it somewhere. Yes, so I can go in this barrel and steal stuff. I can steal 4 flint. Not a big deal. But the thing is, if I'm to believe this is a real world, and I know this happens in other games, you go in people's homes and you steal stuff, you go to people's places in Pokemon and Zelda and stuff, and I get that. It's a trope of the games. At the same time, if I am to believe, and I want to show this before I forget to do this, another thing you can do is as in a lot of RPGs, they'll have little contracts you can do, mostly for gold, and sometimes quest items. But if I'm to believe that this is a living world, then I have to have the characters act believable. And they don't. And you could say, well, this is an old game, it's 10 years old. That's true, but games like Fallout 1, not Fallout 2, 3, whatever, Fallout 1, if you broke into something or tried to steal someone and someone else was there, pickpocket someone, they'd be like, hey, that's not cool, and they attack you. In this game, they don't. So once again, just another thing, a great idea, but that little extra piece that makes it kind of not fully fleshed out. Another thing is, so I can play 5 Owens, to rest, to meditate, which is the same thing I'm doing here at the fireplace. You have to do it at a fireplace. Why, I don't know. But the thing is, if you have flint, as long as you can find a campfire, and you might have noticed it, but I don't think I showed it. If you pull up, that's not what I wanted, the map, it'll actually show you not only where main areas are, but also fireplaces. So, as long as I have flint, and actually later on you get a second sign that allows you to shoot fire, I don't really need to go, I don't need to rest, I don't need to spend the 5 orns, really, to rest at the tavern. I can just go to a campfire. Now, there are areas later on where the campfires aren't so close, so it becomes more important, but anyway, I kind of digress. Because I want to go through the things you can do at a fire, because that's going to tag something else in, or the lack of a system, and that's kind of going to make this point a little further. So you can change the time, you can change the cycle. You got the 4 times of the day: noon, dusk, dawn, and then midnight. You can also change it by a little, so if you want it somewhere in between, you can. There's many reasons actually. One, certain NPCs only pop up at certain times of day and night. So, like blacksmiths will only be out, certain merchants will only be out during the day. Enemies only pop up at night, and certain quests only pop up at certain times of the day as well. So, whether that be midnight, whether it be that mid-noon, whether that be dusk, dawn, so on and so forth. Also, another thing is, when you do that, is your health bar, as you see, I healed up, because if you saw before, I had that blue light, I gained experience. I'm going to be honest, I don't know why I gained experience, but I did, so that healed me up. But if I didn't, if I went, say, 3 hours from now, or 4 hours, we'll say, I would get healed up a bunch, and then I could go back out if I didn't have, like, a potion or something. So that's one of the main things you can do at a fireplace. Another is potions. This makes sense. You need, if you're making science, alchemy, and in this game, for those who are hardcore scientists, in this game, alchemy is on the same stage as science. I don't know if that's a Slavic mythology thing, if that's something the first Witcher did, the book, or is this just something CD Projekt Red decided to play with. But anyways, in this game, science, scientists, alchemists are all kind of, and magic in general is considered a science. It's actually, you can prove it and do it through chemistry, through science. It's not some kind of hocus pocus like it is. It is an owl, which I think is really cool. It's a neat idea. It's not the first game that's done it, but I like it anyway. Makes the world a little more believable, because God knows it needs every little bit it needs. So that's another thing. The third most important thing you can do here is you can level up. As I showed you before, you can get to this section, your hero section, which I believe, yeah, it's just called hero. But you don't see the talents, which are basically your skill points, and you're actually not able to level up. Now, normally that's not a bad thing. The problem is most games that do this have a fast travel system, whether it's you can ride a horse, whether you can teleport, some kind of fast travel system. This game has none of that. I take that back. It does in one area. There's only certain points in that area you can fast travel between, and once you do, you can lose that if there's a certain basically story point where two characters have an argument, and if you choose the wrong character, you lose that ability. So, not only is it very limited, if you happen to choose the wrong character, you lose it anyway. So, once again, good idea. Hey, put a fast travel system in. Great. Why not make it to campfires? I know, eventually, right now we're in Old Vizima in this playthrough. You're trying to get into Vizima proper, and you don't actually come back here. So I know the game hosts probably, and the game creative CD Projekt Red don't want you to be able to go to old areas. Well, then just exit them out, gray them out. I mean, if you're worried about mana putting it back in, they're gonna do that anyways. I mean, it's a PC game. They're gonna break the code and they're gonna do what they want with it. Just let them go wild. But back to the actual level up system. So as you can see, you've got 3 tiers. You've got bronze, silver, gold, and they are represented by skills down here. So bronze, silver, gold, and then you have your attributes. Most of them do what you would think. Now, intelligence in this game does something interesting. Remember what I mentioned before, that you need information on a monster, which you have to get through books, except there's one caveat, and this is it. There's certain abilities in the intelligence tree, so monster lore and herbalism, that allow you to get the information on monsters without buying books or finding, which are, if you have to buy them, pretty expensive. It makes sense. It's a kind of Middle Ages set in Eastern Europe, if not Europe, game, so that makes sense. Probably before the printing press, the Gutenberg printing press. If he even exists in this world, I don't know. And the reason that's important, at least for monsters, is you can't actually get the resources from monsters, which are maybe needed for quests or potions or bombs, because you can actually also make bombs in this quest, without actually having information on the monster, because you're technically carving up the monster, which I think is a really great idea, and I like it. I like that implementation with the intelligence, because it makes sense. If you're smart and you know a lot of things, just naturally, you don't need to read up on them, you're just curious, then you're going to learn them. So I thought that was a great thing. I thought that was a great little idea. Then you have your sign, you have your force push, which I showed earlier. You have your fire spell, which I alluded to. You have a shield spell, that is a shield. You have, which I believe is a disable. And so it's to cause fear. Cause hex. I'm gonna be honest, I tried this spell. I couldn't really get to work. I don't know if I was just doing something, I didn't have it leveled up enough. I don't know. Take it what you will. And then finally you have a trap spell. And then you have what I'll call steel swords and silver swords. Basic differences: steel swords are usually used for humans. Silver swords are used for monsters. Basically anything that doesn't look like a human. And then, though in this game I don't have, because this is a very early save, you don't get a steel sword, a silver sword, I misspoke, till later on. So you can use your steel sword early on, just until you get one, but later on you need a silver sword. It does do a lot of damage. You'll notice if you try to use a steel sword on some of the other monsters, how little damage you do, and vice versa with the humans. And then you have basically for both of them strong, fast, and strong, fast, and group. Strong is basically beefy monsters. Fast is for fast monster, and then groups is for any combination when you have 2 or 3 monsters around you. The good thing is the design of the monsters is really well that you can pretty much tell which monsters are going to be. You're going to want to use your strong steel or strong silver grouping, or as opposed to your fast or group one. So that's great. And then also if you use strong on fast, you may hit them for a lot of damage, but you'll probably miss a lot. And then same with fast, you'll hit them a lot, but you won't do a lot of damage. And then if you do group and you only have one, it doesn't do nothing. And then if you try to use just fast or steel group, you'll get carved up pretty much. And I'll show that in action. So that's that. So I will go through this in action now. We will go to the fighting system, so the next time you're going to see me again is when I am in a fight.
Army life's tough. Be alert.
Okay, so this is a ghoul, so I can knock them down. And actually, that actually has some story significance later on. So if I do my fast attack, I do no damage to him, as you can tell. But if I do my strong attack, I literally do double the damage. and same if I do my fast attack. So this battle system is a little weird. So to do attack, you hold the left mouse button down until the sword turns red. So I hold it down, then you see the kind of X over it, and then once it turns like fiery, I let go, press it again to do a combo until I either combo out. So as you level up the different skill groups, you'll be able to do more combos, or until I mess up. Now you saw me back up, which you can do by double tapping an area, or you can go forward. But as you can tell, it's kind of clunky. Not only that, but Geralt is for whatever reason still stuck in battle mode, and this is something the game does, and I don't know why it does that. But we're gonna do a couple more battles, but I'm not gonna jump to because I want to talk about the music, because the music is pretty good. I wouldn't say there's any pieces that really hit home, but it does its job. So I'm just gonna stay silent while I get to the next cutscene, so you can just kind of hear the music.
Stop. What are you?
A witcher.
We're militia. We keep the peace.
I'll be going.
We needs to see you're not ill.
I'm immune.
Don't know what that means. We gotta check.
What's that?
We're... Well, you look foul, but healthy. Move along.
Godspeed.
Yeah, so the reason Vizima is closed is there is a plague going on. It is affecting the residents. So that is why currently we are not able to get into Vizima. So as you can see, I'm doing my group attacks, killing these dogs. Well, so much for the militia. So yeah, just those dodge animations are just so clunky. I'm sorry. They just don't look natural. And I don't know if I spoke about this, but to use your ability, you actually right mouse click, you attack with the left mouse. I know I got that confused. Also WASD to move, as you may expect, and then the mouse to look. And then we can, since we have some information on these guys, we can loot their corpses. I can actually loot the merchants' corpses. I just, obviously, as you can probably tell, and this is the thing, that dialogue was clunky, but I don't know if that's the game's fault, or because the dialogue is just clunky in this game, or if it's meant to kind of show how not very sophisticated that militiaman is, because he's a peasant. He's literally a peasant with a pitchfork. But kind of going back to the music, once again, the music, nothing great about it. Nothing stands out. It's serviceable, it's nice, it gives you the atmosphere, as you probably may have heard in the beginning before I started talking. It changes when you go into combat, as I specifically mentioned, but that's the thing about The Witcher, and it just has so much potential, and I believe if you probably looked up in reviews and I talked to other people who played this, they would say the same thing, but just certain design choices just kind of hamper it from going from being that good game to that great game. And I know Witcher 2 and especially Witcher 3 ramp everything up and make and our great games and mixed strides in the series, but I would rather have three great Witcher games in the Witcher series than two great ones and a good one. Just kind of, it's good. It's got a lot of potential, but because of certain reasons, it doesn't reach that potential. It's hamstringed by that potential. So that's just me. I mean, but I do look forward to playing the second one and eventually the third one. And I really did enjoy my time with this game. Despite everything, I really enjoyed it. I just wish it made some better design choices so there weren't so many missed opportunities. But it is what it is. I look forward to playing the second one. I would definitely recommend this game. I think the idea of Slavic mythology, which we don't get hardly ever, is great. I think this game has a bunch of great ideas. Once again, I know I'm sounding like a broken record, hamstring, but some of the decisions to do. But definitely, if you can get it on a sale, definitely worth it. If not to not only get into the Witcher series, but a great RPG, a good RPG, a solid RPG itself. And I'm going to take that guy's advice and close out this video. So guys, as always, my name has been Shadow Templar 591, and have a great day.